The pandemic has changed so much about what we can expect from healthcare. Now more than ever, we must make the future affordable, accessible, and equitable. I'm Jody Lesh. In a new podcast from Kaiser Permanente, we interview the thought leaders and care providers who are helping shape the future of not just healthcare, but fields like digital therapeutics and AI. We have a lot to learn from one another. Listen to Ahead in Health wherever you get your podcasts.
Meyer brand grills up the value you expect with quality you can taste in every bite. Try our new quarter-pound beef franks, cradled in our own hot dog buns and topped with tangy, no-sugar-added ketchup or easy-squeeze whipped salad dressing. Top your burger with our convenient burger-shaped Colby cheese slices. And don't forget the sides, like party-size Ripple potato chips, perfect for scooping, and our own special recipe cool and creamy macaroni salad. Stop into Meyer and discover big taste and bigger savings on Meyer brand.
All right, Sandals, Monica. The onslaught of more promotions start today.
Nice.
Okay, good. Now, what I want to do is I want to change your number. Now, when I say customers, I mean free and paid. Just people, it's name, number, email. You got it? I've worked out the numbers and everything. What number do you think I'm going to say, Monica?
So it's not the 28,000?
No, of course not. That was yesterday's Antonio. Grace?
I'm gonna let Monica answer that question. That's a setup question.
Well,
I don't know.
Both of y'all got to answer it. Both of you got to answer it.
I mean, if I don't know what you calculated, but I mean, I could probably guess maybe what 40,000.
What number would you want?
I would say you doubled it.
If you were me, well, hold on. Let me get Shaker real quick. Shaker,
Okay.
Let me see what you're gonna say.
All of them knowing you?
Yeah, I want all of them. 7.8 billion. That's what I want. Fair enough. It's an accurate answer. All right, Monica. Knowing what you need, Grace, knowing what you need, knowing what everybody needs. What number would you say? My number changed because, our conversations yesterday. That's fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Monica?
Yes.
Outstanding. So what number?
I think maybe you doubled it to 56.
Okay.
I think you increased it by 35%.
35% has something to do with it. That's for sure. 35% has something to do with it. Go higher than 100,000 if that helps you. Deanna?
So based on history with you, you always 10x. You always 10x things. So if it's 28,000, most likely you just added a zero to the end of that.
Went ahead and put the 6.9 million.
Oh, well, you know what I'm saying. I go ahead and do that too. But I'm going to wait for Saga software to come out before I do that. But yeah, I ain't got no problem with that. That's an accurate answer, Monica. Good job. Gianna, you're pretty close.
So 28,000, if you take 28,000 and you said the easiest way to increase a number is just add a zero at the end. So if you do that, it becomes 280,000. And out of those 280,000.
Smart lady.
And then if you take that and you include the if I remember correctly, the 35%. Oh wait, no, that's not right. 280,000. And then if you multiply that,
my COO.
and then if you multiply that by the 35%, you're ultimately looking at a total of 98,000 paying members. Because if you're getting 280,000 members paying and non-paying, we're expecting 98,000 of those members to be paying members. So you reach for the 280,000 so you can get the 98,000 paying members.
I am impressed. I am impressed. No, I am. Come on, y'all mute your mics. Clap for this young lady. I am impressed. That is very impressive.
Woo! So
That
Deanna,
sounds
Look at you.
accurate.
Yeah, look at you.
I was just
Look at
scared.
you.
I was just scared, but I had in my head he put a 0 on the right of that. I was just too scared to say that.
You know,
He's
yeah, I was like,
consistent.
he put a
He's
0 at the end of
consistent.
that, at the end of that 28,000. Yeah, I just nervous.
you're all right, Deanna. You 2,000 off. Grace, pull up your calculator. It's actually, yeah, it's 286,000 is the number. Yeah, 286,000. Look at you. Look at you. I'm so proud of you. I am. That was good. That was good. Grace, give me 35% of 286,000. There you go. So she said 98,000. 2,000 off. Not too bad. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
100,000 paying customers. Monica.
Got it.
All right. You think that could do something for your situation? You think that'll help out?
Oh well, of course.
Okay. Yeah. There you
Definitely.
go. There you go. After deliberating with my team yesterday, they want to move faster. So I like to move fast anyway. So that's all right with me. That's all right with me. Good stuff. That means in clearness. All right. Clearness. What's up, Law? Let me see you. Let me see your umbrella. Look at you. He just look at
great
him.
rising, great rising.
Look, and you got the gold chain on this. You know what? You just, boy, Texas ain't ready for you. This ain't even ready.
Not
Nothing
at
is
all.
really ready for me. I just arrived.
You gonna have to go to Austin.
Come on, bro.
I was thinking the same
Yeah.
thing in Austin.
Austin is the closest lost city that we have.
We all got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
I might migrate there. You know?
Yeah, well, there's places in Houston that we can take it to. Yeah, but we not ready. Look at you. Your umbrella got swag. That'll make no sense, boy. Golly. Make no sense. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, you know you taken care of, so you good to go. Now, 286,000. That's signups. The good thing is, y'all ready for this? Y'all won't have to sign those people up. That's a Deanna and Antonio job. All right. See that? See that? That's a Deanna and Antonio job. Does that make you feel better, Grace, Monica? Does it make you?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Lily. Yes, thank you. All right. The bad news is you had to call 286,000 people. That's how the system works.
That's not bad news.
You know.
Sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. And, when it's 6.9 million people, guess what? You got to call 6.9 million people. That's just the way it works. We are old school. Old school. Old school. Now, this is separate from. Is anyone familiar with what we have called terrorist?
Depends on your definition
everybody.
of terrorist.
Well, leaving the woke stuff alone, I'm just saying, I've already said what we have called. I'm just saying how terrorists, you're familiar with terrorists. Yes, everybody, they've been on your TV scaring you to death. Okay. I'm not saying terrorists don't exist. I'm just saying that, you got to be. Anyway, I'm saying plenty without saying plenty. Nevertheless, the terrorists, they work in what you call terrorist cells. Familiar with that? Terrorist cells? Okay, outstanding. My job in the military, part of my job in the military, the unclassified part of my job in the military, there you go, Jerome, is to, well, let's find out together. We will find out together. And all this will make sense. My brain will finally make sense to you. All right. I guess it's a 35 Foxtrot now.
Should you do this search on a
Oh no,
incognito?
this is they're not even finna tell you what this is what they want you to know. All right, so this is just fine. And it's on goarmy.com, so it's all good.
All right. Just
The intelligence analyst is primary responsibility is responsible for the analysis, processing, and distribution of strategic and tactical intelligence. They are an integral part to providing Army personnel with information about enemy forces and potential battle areas. Okay, when I joined, it was 96 Bravo. It's 35 Foxtrot now. Now, well, you know what? I'm interested in this. How do I come? Inspiring. Let's have. See. Often have one of these. I didn't. I had high test scores. They waived this. Typically, major in these. I didn't have to have any of these. And graduate level, I didn't have to have any of these. You know why I didn't have to have any of these? Because I scored into the top 1 percentile of the ASVAB test. They waived all that. Okay, now let's go here real quick. Responsible for analysis. Don't that sound like me? I'm gonna say I'm a data guy. I'm a data guy. I'm a data guy. Processing and distribution. That's God. You couldn't find a better example, a better definition of me. Strategic and tactical intelligence. Forget the integral part, but about enemy forces and potential battle areas. I need you to know that the United States Army caught me at 18 years old, freshly adopted at 14. So technically, I'm 4 years old. All right. I'm 4 years old in civilization because I was a warrior until 14. Well, I was a warrior at 14. They adopted a warrior. They adopted a lone warrior. Okay. So they put me in civilization from 14 to 18, which I did not adjust well. And the United States Army picked me up with no mother, no father, no ties to anything, not a single care in the world, physically super fit due to two-a-days in footballs, right? Yeah, I don't know if y'all, it just depend on two-a-day in American football. And I got no parents, no nothing, and I score off the charts in the ASVAB, especially the coding part and the anyway. Just
Did they find you or did you go to them?
I went to them.
Okay.
I went to them. Yeah, I went to them. That was the only way. That's all I knew was, I mean, everybody else went to the Army, so that's what you did. You graduated, you went to the Army. And none about no college, Steve. he graduated, he went to the Army. That's what happened. In my neighborhood. With no Air Force, I ain't know nothing about that. It was Army. With no Navy, it was Army. So we went up and going. And the Army they molded and shaped my mind. I need y'all to get that. It is still there today. I have to make sure the faucet is off because my brain will try to decode the Morse code of the tapping. I'm not joking. I am not joking. Okay. that anyway, just know that my brain will try to decode the Morse code. So I can assure you, when I tell you, Monica and Grace and everyone eavesdropping, that 286,000, it operate like a terrorist cell, and I pretty much operate this company like a terrorist cell. Let me explain. The reason why I operate this company like a terrorist cell is because the Army made me, let me stop real quick. The Army forced me, Steve, to go and be proficient at enemy forces. Guess what we were fighting? Terrorists. So I learned all their ways. First, it was never mind. I learned all their ways. Okay, I learned all their ways. Now,
Anthony, I was about to wonder, are you giving us a crash course?
I was about to say something classified. All right, now a terrorist cell works a lot like the United States Army. To what's brilliant about any military for the most part is if Jerry is the colonel and he goes down, well, then the lieutenant colonel steps up, right? And then the lieutenant colonel goes down, no problem. Then the major steps up, he's in charge now. And the major goes down, no problem. Second lieutenant, no, first lieutenant. Got my stuff backwards. First lieutenant shows up, and then second lieutenant shows up. And if all of them go down, then sergeant major shows up. He goes down, then first sergeant or master sergeant. Jerome was a master sergeant, right? You was sergeant major? E7. E7. All right, so he go down. Here's Jerome right here. Then Jerome has to step up. All right, Jerome has to step up. Then the Jerome goes down, the E6 has to step up. And if the E6 has to step up, and then that's where I come in, the ATS has to step up. Jerome was 2 ranks higher than me. Okay. I was an E5. He's an E7. You can't even promote to E7. You have to get selected by a board. That's not something. Ain't that right, Jerome? Yeah, the Army has to say you are exemplary. Yeah, you can't even apply for E7. Yes. So Jerome was handpicked by the United States Army. I applied for my rank and had to get local approval. Jerome was selected Army-wide, popped on a list. Yes. Yes, that's how that works. If you don't know, that's how that works. Okay. So congratulations to you, Jerome. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Good stuff. Now, yeah, it's extremely impressive. That's extremely impressive. I make sure, so when I tell y'all 28,000, that's still there. That's just there for somebody else. 286,000, that's there. And I create these individual systems everywhere. So if one goes down, the other one steps up. It's why we are always moving forward and always popping out income. There's never an off season. It can't be. Because all the off season mean is, okay, now you step up now. Is everybody following that? That's how that's how I run it. That's how I run it. Now, 286,000, Grace, Monica. The great thing is you ain't got to get it. I've activated the back office to go get it. That's their job. You understand? That's their job. That's just what it is. If you're still, and we just waiting on some more sugar referrals. Remember that 100,000 thing, 100,000? I think it was dollars, not customers, whatever it was. So I said it was going to do group economics. That's still up. That's just an independent. That's y'all. That's just an independent sale, and that's like CELL. Sorry, CELL sale. Independent sale. That's it. Everything every time I come to these meetings and say something, these things never stop. They may stop or get taken out of your hands, Grace, but that means they got put in Deanna's hands. But they never stop. You understand? Or it just means I decided to automate it, but they never ever stop. You should receive that, because I reserve the right to come back here tomorrow and be like, you know what, 12 billion. Like Antonio, there's only 7.8 billion people on planet Earth. Well, then go to Mars. Let's go get them. And I reserve that right. I reserve that right. Good stuff. At 100,000, well, I have a plan that I won't say here. But the plan is already done, but I have a different plan. Next on my list, Deanna, schedule what let me pause. Did Monica and Grace understand fully what I said? Let me make sure before.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Any questions from you two?
No.
No, it's pretty clear.
Outstanding. That's what I'm talking about. Operation Fix the Bank Accounts. How's that? What that sound like, Monica? That sound.
It's a great name for it.
Monica got all these RIP properties. How many you got?
Just 4.
Just 4. Just 4. I'm such a failure. Just 4. How many you want 4 rental properties before you're 40? Okay. Look, just 4. I partied in college. Right? You can see how high her standard is.
Well, the problem is I set a goal of 10, so that's the problem. I set a goal of 10 by the time I'm 40.
All right,
and I didn't do it. So
you didn't do it. All right. Well, you know
1
what?
year.
I ain't even told you how soon we gonna get this 286 sales. So there you go. 286,000. I ain't even told you when.
That's true. That's true.
Just know, I'm trying to break this. If I don't break the system, Jerry, we didn't do right. I'm coming to break it. Oh, I'm coming back to that. Just put a pin in that. I'm coming back. It fits. It's on my list. It fits next to say, schedule Steve and Jerry and Shaker and Jagadish and Mayuri. It says, I don't know if it was backwards for y'all, but did you see it? You did see it? It's like it's on there. So I don't be making this stuff up, y'all. It's on there. All right. It's on there. I don't be shooting from the hip. I'm always on script. Deanna.
Yes, sir.
I brought up yesterday that these 2 gentlemen need to be on film.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Schedule that. And Shaker. Schedule that. And Mayuri and Jagadish. Schedule those. Thank you very much. By the end, listen, y'all, she's going to get in trouble if y'all don't respond, because by 5 p.m. our time, she's got to have dates for y'all. All right, so keep her out of trouble. Dates, and of course, you go on, the Zoom, you do the thing, and then I'll edit them all up. Reason being is because there's something different. Reason being is because I want another 5, 10. How many people was that for? 4? 5. 5? Mm-hmm. All right, because I want another 25,000. So you should write that down. I want another 25,000. 5 per each. And I'm going to use your faces and your stories to do that. That means by the time I'm done, each of you should have 5,000 under you. Yes. Cool. We cool with that? Outstanding. All right. That's the goal. That's why. So the reason I told you about intelligence analysts and the terrorist sales thingy is because that's not doing a lot. That is 2 independent operations doing their job. They would do them at the same time. It's not an issue. You understand? This company has this great oneness, but this company also operates as like 8 different companies that compete with each other. Okay, I'm trying to drop nuggets for y'all. If I own Nike, and I'm sure they do this, I would make my online store compete with my physical stores. And I would have an online president, and I would have a physical store president. COVID-19 would have never hurt me because I would have made sure that they competed, and I would have just said, well, since people can't go to stores, you got to do 3 times more than what, no, I would say 3. You got to do 10 times more. That's how Deanna caught me. More than what you've been doing online to cover the physical stores so no one loses their jobs. That's exactly what I would have said. It's what I would have did. It's what I did with ATS. No one has lost their job. Grace, has your paycheck stopped any?
No.
Not a once. Not a one time. All right? Not a one time. Now, Deanna, that is most urgent. Those 5 names. Now make sure, listen, y'all. You're high class people. I don't, okay, my Yuri's here. Just quickly. Okay, get it back to her quickly. Get it back to her quickly because she is going to get in trouble. Then I'm going to get mad that she's in trouble. And then I'm going to have to cut you off the list. And I don't want to do that. Okay, so just respond because I'm moving. It's already done. I'm moving fast. I don't have time to wait. I don't have time to wait. Outstanding. Next on my list. Okay, I don't need to say that out loud. That was a reminder for me. But I can say I sent you ladies about, I said 70 pictures last time. I didn't realize the other 20 didn't go through, so I just deleted them. I figured 50 is enough. I sent y'all 50 pictures, remember? Reggie, you too. You're going to need to, that's pictures. You're going to need to post those. Okay? You're going to need to post those. I don't know where. That's got nothing to do with me. I don't care if you post them in text message. If you don't want to mess up your timeline, your personal page, I respect that. They got to go somewhere. Be clever. Sandals. Okay. Clever. Be clever. I know Reggie posts on his timeline, so I ain't got to say nothing to him. He posts regardless. Bitch, I got me. You got to go somewhere. And it should be, so you say, Antonio, how long? Well, Monica, when your bank account is fixed. Does that answer that question?
Sure does.
Yeah. When your RIP properties are paid off. That's how long. That's a good answer. Sandals. When you buy your apartment complex. You got me? Are you multitasking? You look like you're multitasking.
I'm looking at these pictures, trying to figure out what I need to do. So yeah, yeah, I'm looking at the pictures, and you said I heard you say post them. I've got questions in my head because just posting a picture, I know ain't gonna.
This is a meeting. Ask him.
Is there something I need to post with the pictures?
Well, see, if you don't ask him, I can't help you. What you mean is there something you need to post? Be more specific for me.
Okay. If you roll across your screen on Facebook and you see my timeline and you see a picture and that's all you see, is that cool, or do you want something with the with the picture? Or
well, caption is what she's talking about.
I get it. I get it now. Let's back up a little bit. Let's go with the spirit of excellence. Okay, let's just back up real quick. That first question shouldn't even been in there. All right, if you just want to see a picture, what does that do?
But okay.
If you just post a picture, what is that doing?
Nothing.
No, think about it. If you took a selfie at the Taj Mahal, would you just post it?
No.
Exactly. Are you following that logic? No, you're not following that logic? Okay, let me try again. Posting a picture is fantastic, but the only thing that will survive in the information age is communication. It's the only thing that's going to survive. If you don't know that, I'm telling you right now, Another word for that is brand, because a brand is consistently communicating what you're doing. All right, I just made sense to law. Okay. The only thing that's going to survive with the advent and the increasing multiplication of the Internet of Things and all sorts of stuff is communication. And if you personally were going to post better, then you're going to post about your role or whatever, or your company or whatever you want to say, then you are in a direct, you're not in harmony with the laws of success. There's a scripture for it, Grace. I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying something to everybody. Okay, but there's a scripture for no, unmute your mic because I want you to shout on this scripture. Haggai chapter 1. I'm talking your language now. Say, oh yeah, your stuff look good, don't it? But my foundation is still in ruins. Yeah, you build your houses. I tell you what, consider your ways. I wish I had somebody. Consider your ways. From now on, you're gonna plant gardens and still be hungry. You're gonna have holes in your pocket. You're gonna put money in your pockets like you have holes in them. You're gonna drink but still be thirsty. You're gonna put clothes on and still be cold. Yeah, that's basically the first part of that question. All right, listen, y'all. Communication is the only thing that's gonna win. You don't just post something without communicating. That's not in harmony with the laws of success.
Okay.
I'm not addressing you. You gave me a platform. You're right. I'm not correcting you. I'm telling y'all because I know y'all do that. No. Don't do that. You need to put thought into your post. Now I got your back, Grace. You ready?
Yes.
All right. All right. Let's go back real quick. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna type in Lisa Nichols. Is this the person I picked last time?
Yes.
All right, then we're gonna type in Tony Robbins. You're gonna go to Tony Robbins' page. You're gonna go down to page transparency. You're gonna go down to ad library. And then you're gonna see he's running approximately 20 ads. He's not running any at this moment. No real need to. But these were successful. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Calling all business owners, right?
Right.
On that there. Same one. So this was clearly a successful ad. Look how many times, same script. I'm pretty sure those are different audiences. So, yeah, look, book isn't, are not going to push people to a book.
Yes.
Right, here it is. A must read. Right, book. Boom, boom, boom. Is this fair?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. That is why I showed y'all that 2 days ago. Because I knew we were going to go so fast, you was going to have that question. You got me?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I put that in line app for you, and I'm also going to put it in chat for everybody else. All right. Keep asking your questions, and don't just you're not even being corrected. So fear, criticism doesn't need to be there.
Is there a certain link that you would like to go?
Yes, I haven't released it yet. If I release it now, yeah, you get it in about an hour or so.
Okay.
I am troubleshooting it. If I release it now, you're going to send traffic to something that may or may not be ready. It is ready, but troubleshooting it. It's a programmer thing, troubleshooting it. Make sure the buttons work. For instance, the form this morning didn't load in the center. It loaded right justified, which was stupid. So I've got to tear that whole thing down. But it's already, I got the code. It doesn't matter. Just know that I'm troubleshooting it. Okay. Any more questions?
No, that's
Monica, mute your mic. Jump in there. Help your sister out. Any questions about those pictures? Any more questions? Because if she's got questions, you got questions. Or somebody got questions, because like attracts like. Good
No,
questions too, Grace.
I don't have any questions right now. I mean, I remembered that you had mentioned that's what you were going to use those for. You'd been saving them up for quite some time to use them for ads and that type of thing. So I don't have any questions at the moment.
Yes, those are just attention grabbing things. Basically what you want to do so in traditional advertising understanding, it takes people 8 times before they decide to look at a product. This is traditional understanding. It's I'm not sure if that's still true. If anything, I would say it's higher now. I wouldn't say it's less. That was back in the day when you saw a billboard and you played I Spy and billboards were cool. Now they're not. That was back in the day when you heard 13 radio commercials an hour, Jerry. Now you hear 13 radio commercials a minute. So I would say that number's going higher. I would say that, and I have no evidence for this. I'm just understanding human behavior. The mere fact that when a commercial comes on TV and about 98% of you pick up your phone and disconnect from that commercial is what I'm drawing this on. Okay, that's okay. Just I have no evidence here as far as data from science. I'm looking at human behavior. The macronomics of things is what I'm looking at. Okay, go ahead, Phil.
Well, does anybody watch anything and just pay attention to one screen today?
No, no, not at all. Ask yourself how many times you paid attention to more than one screen in the last 36 minutes or thought about something else, right? So there you go. And you're still paying attention, right? We've gotten very good at giving things our partial attention and still being great at it. You know, we're busy. We've gotten very busy. So, Grace, very good question, because what you're doing with these pictures, Monica, Grace, Reggie, is you're just softening the crowd, plowing the field is all you're doing. That's it. I expect nothing to come from it. That doesn't mean it doesn't have a very important part to play. Many people have more than one monitor. Yep. So right. So right. I forgot all about that. You're plowing the field. Do not misunderstand the importance of this role. Okay. In American football, the offensive linemen typically don't score touchdowns, but you would never get a single touchdown without them. Your quarterback, which is the highest paid player on the team in most cases, would be a waste of an investment without the offensive line. Somebody has to protect the $40 million a year that the owner just paid. Your quarterback typically has the highest IQ on the team as well, because they run the offense. They have to know every moving piece. Law, go ahead.
Would you say our process for my book is similar in that aspect of plowing the field?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's plowing the field of your monthly programs. That is it. That's all it's doing. It's making people go, oh yeah, I heard of him. or even making people want to lie about hearing you, because apparently you out there so much, it's cool if they say I ain't never heard of you. I mean, it's not cool if they say you never heard of you. So they lie. Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard of him. Yeah. I think I have. And then right there, Grace gets to pitch you because they lied. You understand? That's basically the way it works. Basically the way it works. You're plowing the field. I will give you links and I will give you scripts. They're already wrote up about, I don't know, 6 or 7. So I'll supply them for you. It's pretty much the same ones we use to sell the thousands of copies the first, or give away the thousands of copies the first time. So I would start you off with those. And please hear this, y'all. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I intend on these 50 pictures being an independent sale. I will be watching what we're doing. Most of you have come here doing domination time. So you don't know how fast and hard and quick that we move, because all you seen was the domination. Well, I've dominated this sector. I'm going after another now. And now you've never won anything. I could easily say, well, let's take what we have. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking as if we have 0. Yeah, can y'all not hear that? I'm saying let's go get 286,000. I never said more. I'm talking as if we are losers. We're in the very beginning. And there's an enemy out there, and we're on the battlefield, and we burn our ships. Now, either we win or we perish. And that's directly from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. That's how I'm behaving right now. You didn't accomplish nothing, Grace. You've never done anything. You have. I'm grateful. Thank you. Without you, we would be nowhere. But that's past stuff. Today, we all losers. I don't even want you to wordsmith that up. If you want to wordsmith it up, prove me wrong with actions. Right now, you're losers. I'm a loser. You's a loser. Now prove me wrong. But I don't want to hear words. Let them numbers come across the table. I'm going first with 286,000. Listen to what I'm saying. At no point did I say Monica go out there and go get 286,000. That ain't what I said. I ain't say that, Grace. I told you what we was gonna do. Y'all got nervous. I understood because I would get nervous too. I get it. And then I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We're gonna do it." I'm not asking you to do nothing that I'm not doing myself. You understand? I said 2 days ago, showed you the scripts, but I never told you I didn't have the scripts that I was gonna give you. Haven't I always 100% of the time since you've known me giving you what to post? Now you gotta say it out loud. They can't hear you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But we're going higher now. You understand? Let's go back to what I'm explaining. I want you to just look at my whiteboard again. Pictures, 286,000. Regular work as normal. Deanna's work, Antonio's work, Bureau of Dominant Speakers, all the classes, all the person development classes, cold calls, warm calls, hot calls, sales funnels, and all these things that I can keep going. Like literally, I'll just stop right here because this is what I just said. They're all working independently at the same time, like terrorist cells. This is how this company works. This company is extremely uncomfortable. We do more than anybody, faster than everybody, cheaper than everybody. There's not a data analyst that can prove that wrong. Deanna, explain what's going on. I see you put it in the chat.
You're priming the audience with the graphics, you said that you are getting them ready. You're priming the audience with the graphics, putting you on their mind, putting the business university on their mind, Ricasa, and you're just putting it up there. So, because in order for them to, just like with anything, people see things like 9 or 10 times before they actually click it. But they've seen it. So when it's in their awareness. So by the time they're like, man, I'm tired, I can't do this anymore, I need something else, I'm looking for something else, they would have remembered, wait a minute, I remember seeing that. And then you'll pop up. Like quite a few people. Some people, I've heard stories of some of the members in the network, like I just opened up Facebook and you were just right there. Or I've seen your ads, or I've seen your videos pop up here and there. And then this is one day I just clicked on the link. So that's what you're doing. You're priming your audience.
That's right. And the system goes independent. Everything operates at full speed independently. I'm always going to do business this way. It's my business style. It just is what it is. It's just not changing no time soon. To expect it to change would have to have me make some change. And we know I'm not changing core me. It just doesn't make sense. So ain't no sense in expecting to change, right? We're moving greatly fast. If you want to know the greatest business advice that I've given, and I've given it more than once, I'm going to tell you how to do it again. If you want to compete against major players, you don't need to be a major player. You need to be a disruptive company. The reason why we keep winning, and you do know we don't look like 2 years ago, right? Not even close. Okay, all right. Okay. Now, in order to take them on, you shouldn't take them on. You never battle a great army head on. It's insane. It's a violation of every page of The Art of War.
Worried about mom or dad falling? The Symphony Medical Alert System from CVS Health helps make their home safer, even if you can't be there. Symphony works with voice activation or a care button they can opt to wear, along with smart sensors for coverage around the home. With 24/7 emergency response and an app to tie it all together, you can monitor your loved one's well-being for enhanced peace of mind. Terms and conditions apply. Learn more about Symphony at cvs.com/symphony or find it at your nearest CVS Health Hub.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably been hearing a lot about the stock market lately. Millions of people are beginning to invest for the first time ever. And we're realizing that the financial system should be built to work for us. That's why Robinhood is creating real human education resources, truly digestible financial news, and a platform that lets you invest in your own way, on your own terms. The next generation of investors is already here, and it includes you. Robinhood. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial, LLC.
It is in violation of every great strategy book to ever exist. It is not in alignment with Robert Greene's 33 Strategies of War. You don't attack head on, and that's not what we're doing. You need to this company is DVD's Netflix. That's what we are. And the only thing I'm saying, and I'll explain it, is let's put DVDs in a new state. That's the only thing I'm saying. That in the simplicity of what we're talking about, I'm saying let's mail out, let's see what our DVDs look like now in India and the UK. It's the only thing I'm saying. Now let me explain all that. In order to win, the first thing y'all need is attention. You should really write this down. And you need a lot of attention. A whole lot of it. The second thing you need to do is you need to go after a bunch of customers no one else wants. I can assure y'all, they had y'all as customers, and they did not treat you well. They did not want you. They wanted the customers that would buy $20,000 to get on stage with them and stuff like that. You know I ain't lying. Don't fool me. You know what I'm saying? They wanted the customer that was going to keep paying. They didn't want the smart customers. They didn't want y'all. I targeted y'all on purpose. So after you go get a bunch of customers they don't want, then what you do is you make a lot of money with all those customers and you build a cult following. That's one sentence. You make a lot of money, you build a cult following. Excuse the word cult, but it really does capture what I'm talking about. It really does. I know that's Facebook suffers that problem too. Hackers is actually a good word. To the general public, it is not. Hacker is a really good word. To the general public, it is not. Cult is actually a good word. To the general public, it is not. You see the little girls walking down, married at 6 years old. That is a major problem. And I understand. Okay, I understand. You build a bunch of super fans, is what Deanna just put in chat. After you do that step, then you take all that money and you go after their customers. And the last step, which is my favorite, you buy them or put them out of business. Straight like that. It's the only 5 things you need to know as an entrepreneur. That should be your major playlist because it's the only thing that I do. So this entire meeting and this entire conversation has been enthralled, encapsulated in number 3. Go get more people and more money. I'm not ready to take on their customers yet. I don't want to. When we get to 7 million weird folk like y'all, then I'll go over there. And that's 7 million paying like y'all. Then I'll go over there. I know the number. I've given y'all the number. You need to understand where you are in your company. All right, let's back up. Who has a question? Who has a question? Let me back up. Go ahead, Carol. Something told me to back up for a second.
So, well, it's not a question in that sense, but from what I'm hearing you say is that we need to have multiple streams to be out there everywhere. So even if we have one business, you need to kind of dissect that business and act like it's different businesses. And my take on it is I used to run a sign business. And to be competitive, I had 4 sign businesses and they would compete with each other, but all of them were all our customer. So we probably need to do something similar to that in our business or have different lines of business within that business that connect, but look different.
Yeah, you got it. You got it to where I'm giving you permission to go teach it. You got it. Yeah, you got it to go teach it. It is the only steps you need to know, y'all. Like just follow me for a second, y'all. I don't. Let me just talk the bulldog language, because it's going to communicate better. I can communicate this better, but I don't want to communicate it in your version of better. I want to communicate it in the way it should be communicated, so every person, high and low awareness, can understand what I'm saying right now. I don't care nothing about anything but a lot of money. That's it. Now, of course, you got plenty to say about that. And we all know that it's more than that. But that ain't what I'm communicating right now. You need to follow my communication. My communication is, if you want the protections from what's about to come, we better be shielded by our own ecosystem of money. Now, I can say that, but that doesn't capture what I want you to capture. What I want you to capture is, you need to be money focused right now. Forget everything else, because you can do a whole lot better by your church if you had money. It is about to get worse. And you need to shield yourself in your own economical bubble. So I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about protection. But here's the deal. Protection don't motivate you. If it did, you'd be protected. Money don't motivate you. If you did, you'd have plenty of it. But there's something else I'm saying. Showing them who you really are is what I'm communicating. And that motivates the hell out of y'all black sheeps, don't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I ask a question here, sir?
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm not really church folk. I'm of the Muslim faith. So we kind of differ on certain
favorite
things,
faith.
but I didn't really go to church as a school. I got kicked out of school, kicked out of Catholic school in the first grade. But so when you're talking about business and doing money and doing right by the church, like, does that relate to the economy? Does that relate to like spiritual protection, or what? How does that work?
It works exactly in your Islamic faith. No, you got it more than what we would have been raised upon it. No, keep your mic unmuted, because you're going to help me out here. Okay. You have the Islamic faith is all about group economics. I push that more than any other faith that I know. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost to the point where, if you're not attempting to be a blessing on earth, then you shouldn't only be focused on, the afterlife. This is you and your thinking and the Islamic faith. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I always think that our heaven and hell is here. It's not.
No doubt.
It ain't where we go. I'm not giving, like, to me, and I come up in inner city communities as a Jew. Most of the poverty is built off of the mindset of the churches, because the fact that, those churches are just taken from the community. You'll see people who will gangbang, and not that selling drugs it should be a crime, but it's the way it's done that is a crime. Gangbang, prostitution, all this type of thing. Go to church on Sunday, cleanse themselves, and by Sunday night be right back in the club doing the same thing. But God is good, and God told me it was all right because I gave him my money. So, and that really does nothing for the community, does nothing for the people, does nothing for anything, actually. But I posted a post yesterday in regard to a real estate matter to some people that I used to work with. And I see it happening now. Yesterday, Trump signed a bill taking us back to 1968. Now, I'm not actually clear on the specifics. Preventing all low-income housing to come into the suburbs, right? He signed that bill yesterday. That's what they changed in 1968. So we're back to 1968 again when it comes to that. The thing with that is, they were using a lot of pastors and nonprofit organizations to buy up houses in inner city communities that they run down through using their gangs, through pushing their drugs, through bad policing, and then did phony appraisals, and then took it to the bank, bought the money, took the money, and had their congressmen and assemblymen say, well, you know what? These houses are in no condition. There's too much gang activity, which they provided, too much drugs, which they provided, too much bad policing, which they provided. So we can't make the payments on the house, just walk away from it and leave the community and the condition that it's in. And now they're telling low-income people that they can't come to the suburbs. The thing about it this time is it's working in the minority's favor because the jumbo loans, the loans from 680 and up, 680, 780, 90, 1, 2, 3 million, most wealthy people, once the economy takes a dip, they do not pay liabilities. They'll pay utilities, they'll pay your car. They won't lose their lifestyle. Like they continue to go shopping, they continue to go on vacation. But the houses, no, I'm not paying that. They won't pay it. Now, after World War II, this is what actually caused the middle class. So your book is 100% on point. This is actually what caused the middle class, is when the jumbo loans of the Great Gatsby's and all that, when the stock market fell, whatever year it was, in 1929, 1925, or whatever the case is, all these houses were abandoned. So now they had big houses, big landed, but they have all these people come back from the war, all these middle-class people who didn't have the income that they had before, but they needed homes. So they tore down the big houses and made, instead of one big house, they made 4 little houses. There's your middle class. Now the jumbo loans are in foreclosure. And you got 35 million people out of work. So all who was on public assistance, Section 8, welfare, food stamps, all of that, they're going to need that money for the 34 million working class people who don't have work now.
Mm-hmm.
So how they
and the number
people,
keep rising in the millions each week.
How they're riding the donkey and putting the carrot in front of the donkey's face is using church. They're using church to bring them in. It's okay. It's all right. We can live on poverty. We can live on less. Thank you for your master. Be grateful to your master. Don't do for self, do for him. Give to church. I mean, you are excluded from that, but there's a lot of people who are out for self, and all they give them is an extra piece of fried chicken and a biscuit. and sell them the medicine for the high blood pressure and the cholesterol. So when I see people talking about that, it kind of bothers me, because in this time, anybody who's not group economics or doesn't have financial education, or even the testicular fortitude to stand up for what's right, and you get more respect on both sides when you do that, they're not going to last. Exactly. But a lot of this you pointed in your book.
Yep.
A lot of this you pinpointed in your book. But I just need clarification on that. When people say we're living in do for now or give to your church, because if your church ain't doing nothing for your community, why are you even there?
That's a lot of good facts that you brought up in what you're saying. Now let me clear off some matrix stuff here real quick so everyone can follow. All right, let me clear off some matrix stuff. All of you should understand that the matrix has all of you. Okay, all of you. Period. Point blank. Like that. You should just get that. It just is what it is. We don't have a single institution that has not been infiltrated by our oppressor. Okay, right? You just don't have one. You just don't have one. And I mean, everybody here, black, white, Jew, Gentile, right? Islamic, Sikh, doesn't matter. All right, you all have someone upholding your poverty condition. You need to receive that. That doesn't mean you need to vibrate at it. You just need to account for there's some group upholding your poverty condition. You understand? Now, with that being understood, economically, and this is to Brother Justin's point, economically, right? This is going to be hard truth for some of you, because he actually said it, and I know it made some of you uncomfortable. But economically, I didn't say my opinion. I said from an economical standpoint, the casino and what is called the local church have the same economic role to sit in a neighborhood, rob the neighborhood of resources, and never give back to it. Economically, that's what Brother Justin was talking about. I don't want you to think that he was just talking. Economically, this happens. I didn't say all. That's why I said, what is the local church? I didn't want to offend you because there's a difference between Big C church, the mission, right, and your local body, right? All that stuff. Lots and super and duper and uber facts came out this young man's mouth. And obviously, he's quoting a few things too in the book as well, which you should probably read. Okay. Now, Justin, me and Justin know what it is back and forth. Here's what is very interesting. I find that there's two things interesting that I find that he said. Well, everything he said was interesting, but there's two very good things that he super said that I really want to point out because it fits this meeting, and that's why he brought it up. For one, that whole carrot in front of your nose and then sell you the medicine to get you from the biscuit we just gave you that killed you, that's happening every day. Your food is full of sugar, and then they sell you the insulin. Oh yeah, what Justin said was they're using us because you got to. Well, let me just. What he actually said was they're using the church. That's what he said. Okay, they're using the church to steer you in a direction that creates more poverty. Okay, it's an argument, and it's an argument that can be backed up with some statistical and legal facts as well. Nevertheless, let's look at hospitals. Yeah, you ain't got to receive it, but let me just tell you, hospitals exist to prolong your death. They do not exist to save your life. If the medicine worked, you wouldn't need a prescription. You can just chalk that up to common sense.
Yeah, but
right.
if
Yes,
the
ma'am.
medicine worked, they'd be out of business.
Exactly. And this
Same
is
thing with
this.
the church would be out of the church is a business. Nobody understands that.
And what Justin is saying. So, all right, what we're gonna do is this is to that, and that is to this. What Justin is saying, because remember I said let me unmatrix some of this stuff, take the matrix out so some of you can understand what he was saying, because I know you were emotionalized there. What Carol just said is if the medicine worked, they would be out of business. Listen, and Justin is saying if the church worked, the government would be out of business. That's what Justin is saying. It's the same concept. It's the same concept. It's the same concept. I'm not, there's no, you can decide for yourself. I'm just telling you, I'm not even trying to re-explain. I'm just taking that emotion off and putting you in the matrix so you can objectively hear what this man was saying. There it is, right? Now, all of you should know by now, I ain't got no religion. Okay, I'm weird, and Islam is one of my very favorite faiths. Let me just tell you, and I'm also woke enough to know that they've demonized Islam for very reasons. It makes sense. It just makes total sense. It makes total sense why they would demonize it. I won't tell you now in this call, but it just makes total sense why they would demonize it and make it militant. Makes sense, right? Reggie said, keep the emotion. Maybe you do something about it. It makes total sense, but I won't tell you in this call. You have to ask me on another call, maybe a Thursday or something. Now, all this fits because I'm telling y'all, we going higher. We finna do what nobody else has ever done, and we finna do it with a black man as a CEO. Okay? And if you want to stay in, we better be shielded by a whole lot of money. You understand? It is what it is. Come along. You need to be shielded with a whole lot of money. We're about to go get 286,000. That's independently, plus 25,000. 5 for someone who don't look like me, someone who don't look like me, someone who like every single person I picked just don't look like me. And advanced me's like, and me too, right? Read me in too. On that, and then we're going to help everybody else, but we're going to use Jerry and Steve and Shaker and my Yuri. We're using these people, and I mean this in a positive way, to become success stories, because a rising tide raises all ships. It is completely strategic. I'm not running this out of my mouth. The only reason that, I mean, you got to realize everyone has, and this is another thing Justin was saying, and thank you, Justin. And you can talk anytime. Another thing is programming, right? Like everybody has programming. I know when I say something economical or intelligent and it transforms your thinking, I know cognitive dissonance happens in your mind because I don't look like your teacher. I know that. It's why I choose to communicate in different forms of communication. It is also why I am an egalitarian when it comes to religions and genders, because imagine, like, think about this for a second. Could you do what I'm doing, coming from where I come from, looking how I look, without acting exactly the way I act? Can you pick another person? When you think about it, right? When you think about it, it just makes sense. It makes sense that you would have to be all that to all people, because it's the only way I'm gonna pull it off. It's the only way I'm gonna pull it off. Next generation, it'll be easier, Justin. I'll more than likely, die having it made it easier for other people. But as for now, in the middle of all this divisiveness, I gotta roll this way. Go ahead, my man.
Yeah, hopefully, because they call this next generation the lost generation, or the sandwich generation.
No doubt.
It's good because the generation is in the information age early, way before we were.
Yeah.
The bad thing is that they're not, a lot of them, some of them, our minorities mostly are because they're forced to, because of economic reasons. But the majority is not forced to real life experiences until their late 20s. So they lose their workforce. And I have a lot of wealthy colleagues and friends as well. And some of them are self-made like myself, self-made millionaires. Others are generational wealth. And the difference is I learned mine on my own. A lot of theirs fathers put them to work at 9 years old. And so you ain't getting a dime from me. And they work from 9 to 15, go to school, and then they put them in their family business. And they learn that, because if there's 90% failure rate of generational businesses after the third generation.
Yep.
So what you're doing is good, but this generation, it seems to be more on what they see.
You're right. And we, of course, we taught them that. And everything you just said is how I'm doing my boys. My boys don't get a dime. And every time they ask for something, Steve, they got to give me a sales pitch. Every time. They got to give me a sales pitch. Something? Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that, I think it's going to be a very valuable for everybody. Is that why at times when getting into certain groups, I don't want to just make it a religion, but like I'll put that in there, religion or certain groups, I feel like, I guess the energy is like telling me to leave because I feel trapped because of what they've been taught in the past.
No doubt. I mean, that's absolutely. I mean, it just depending on what school of thought you come from. You can say it's a spirit of discernment. You can say awareness. You can say source. It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. There's something about you telling you to move from that environment. Listen, y'all. I ain't afraid to tackle religion, sex, or money. which is the absolute things killing every religious organization. The religion itself, the sex, and the money. I ain't scared to tackle none of it. Reese, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I have a similar way that I deal with my son, but he's not at the point yet, right? And that won't come till he's older, where he understands why that's valuable. He's just sort of like buried in resentment about why him, like, he's just looking at all the, is it Gen X now? Is that like teenagers right now? Are they Gen X?
No, the Gen X is Grace. I think they're Gen Z.
Oh, yeah, Gen Z. So he's looking at, you know, the way that, like, everybody else's value system. And it's so funny because he has, like, the entitlement of Gen Z, right? He's got, like, a lot of those, like, weird qualities, but he was raised under a completely value system. And he resents it so hard. but then every time he gets into a situation where, like, nobody else knows what to do, he's always the one that just, like, steps forward and can, like, handle it without even thinking. And I'm like, see, like, do you get it now? You know what I'm saying? But it'll take a while to, like, completely sink in.
But yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I'm sure it will. Listen, y'all, because I'm fit to end this here. There, on this call, there are gays. There are conservatives. There are liberals. There are Islamic millionaires. There are 6 figures and 5 figures. There are 3 different continents in representation right now. That don't happen by accident. You need to know that. That don't just happen by law of attraction either. You know what I'm saying? That happens. You got to understand some stuff, and you got to design that. And then you got to call forth that with the right bait and bring it back. So what I explained to you today, which sparked this conversation, is so nothing matter right now but money. You say what you want, but if you want the law changed, make enough money to lobby, because that's what they doing to change it.
I feel like I gotta ask this. I know you're landing.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is gonna probably sound contradicting as heck.
Be fine.
But as we know, especially in a lot of Baptist churches, they say the money's root of all evil. Does that contradict between you trying to move forward into prosperity at times?
Yes, but let me explain what's going on there. I sure wish you didn't ask that question. I'm gonna answer it though. I just wish you didn't ask that question. It goes back to.
I just felt I should.
No. It's a good question. It needs to be answered. The problem is, it is a question I typically would answer with a room full of black people. I got mixed company around right now. Here's the. Let me tie it to the very last thing, so we can get out of here and everybody can make sense. I'm only going to advertise this new campaign in America, in the UK, and in certain parts of India for obvious reasons. This isn't about being global. This is about taking care of where we're going. You understand? This is about softening the field of where we're actually going first. That's important. Right? This isn't about being famous. This is about being money heavy, hand over fist. You can't compete with Google broke. You can't compete with Google broke, which leads me right back into Chris's question. And Justin, I know you fit to like this. All right, now this is where we end, because his question was too real, Vasmy. It's way too real. I was looking for a political way to say it, but I can't. So I just got to tell you out of the matrix. You go to an affluent area. Who lives in a great area? I mean, like, for real deal. Like, you live in a great area. Okay.
Define
I
great.
used to live in a great area.
Fair enough. Okay,
Yeah.
define great. Look, the people. Y'all like Monica. Well, just 4 houses.
I live in a couple great areas, but I don't consider them really great because it's drama upside.
Well, fair enough.
I mean, I guess I do. I'm just like 3 miles from the beach. So Fort Lauderdale Beach. So that's
good
great.
stuff. Good
But
stuff. There you
I
go.
think of Ohio, and we lived in the suburbs in a
All right.
very upscale.
Okay.
But
All
what
right.
was nice about it, it had really, well, the downtown area was all antique shops and beautiful area. And then we watched it through the years get built up. We, with really cool restaurants and we saw the pool come in, and the school systems are top in the country, and just nice, good people. So there was a mix of people because it started out as farmland. So, there was a lot of variety, but, and just, I mean, anywhere you went at 20 minutes to downtown Columbus, 20 minutes to the other side of town.
Good.
And Columbus, Ohio is a great place. And I think of that. I'm missing our home right now, and our offices and our library. We had bookshelves everywhere for all of our books. And so, it's hard to, as I'm sitting here, we've already put our storm shutters up for the storm just to be ahead. You know me, I'm strategic.
Amen.
I don't want to be out there while everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
So, it's hard, but I feel blessed that we were able to raise our kids there.
Good.
And so I do come from that.
Good. No, and I'm glad, because now I've got some folk that's going to back me up with what I'm about to say. I'm about to say 2 things. I'm about to bring up Brother Polite first. You familiar with Brother Polite, Justin?
No.
All right. I'm about to bring up Brother Polite first. Brother Polite says, I've never lived in it. He's a black guy, self-made millionaire, author of 99 books or something like that. Follower, one of Dr. Sebi's proteges. Rest in peace, Dr. Sebi. Now,
and he's got a lot of haters, though.
He's got a whole lot of haters, Reese.
So many. Like he gets so much press from his haters. Like if you look up Brother Polite on the internet, you'll come up with like 100 videos of like he's talking blasphemy. Go listen to him.
Yeah.
I think anytime you go against medicine, you get more haters. I posted something about Cove, and I was looking into to invest into a vaccine, and there's a lady from Nigeria that went and said it was a whole hoax, and she's been treating people with hydrochloroquine, and Facebook hit me and said, listen, you got to take this shit off.
Yeah, they did.
my brother from my brother from Nigeria posted, and he's like, oh my God, and he works at a hedge fund. He's like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? He's like, I know this is true. They said, listen, this is invalidated information. You cannot go against Facebook guidelines. Take it off.
Yeah.
Trying to break the matrix. You can't do that.
Well, this is why this is what I was explaining to Monica yesterday. This is why the government keeps calling the big tech companies, why they keep fighting the big tech companies right now. Because who's got more money, big tech or the government? Let's just call a spade, right? And who's got more freedom, big tech or the government? And I find it funny, the very questions they trying to ask big tech is the same violations that big government is doing. You make no sense. It's the same violations, but I don't say nothing, Jerry. I just let Monica watch it to get upset. I don't say nothing. Brother Polite was asked
I was real upset.
Yeah. Brother Polite was asked by, he's a black guy. It's just like dropped out of school, 9th grade, anyway, let me just, self-made millionaire, super millionaire now, and he does stocks and all sorts of stuff, and what he does is he educates black people how to make money, which is the source of the haters, Reese, because we so divided, which brings me to your question, Chris.
Oh, I know, he's dangerous, you know what I mean? And it's not just because he's teaching black folks, because as soon as I'm about to go off.
Yeah.
Because look, when no one is free, when how does it go? No one is free when someone is oppressed. So like space time.
Yeah.
Right. And it's as soon as you lift up the lower class, then that whole hierarchy starts to fall apart.
Exactly. Which is why I keep myself shielded by my own economy, because I know I'm doing the same thing, and I know everyone who came before me did it.
So in other words, the monetary system is replacing the whips and shackles.
Yes, absolutely. It's called debt slavery. We actually have a
But
term
he's
for it.
saying like he don't. That's why when you say like like you ain't interested in like bro conscious folk, right? Because that's dangerous and you're unprotected. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to understand the laws, not like laws, but you know what I'm saying? Laws.
Bro conscious folk are poverty. They are what y'all call the devil, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you gotta, your confusion is poverty. And the author of confusion is the devil, right? I'm not even telling you this devil. I'm just telling you the author of confusion is the devil. This is what y'all say. This is old folks saying. And if you're going to be broke and conscious, you're literally stooped in confusion, which leads me to why I asked who's lived in the high income area, because now I'm fit to make some facts. Brother Polite said, I ain't never lived in a black neighborhood. He was talking to somebody interview. And he said, what you mean? You grew up in a black neighborhood? He said, no, I grew up in a white neighborhood populated by black people. Okay. All right. Because we don't own nothing. We don't own the bandanas we wear. We don't own the streets. We don't own the gas station. We don't own the building. We don't own nothing. We just populate what they own and control. And I went, wow. And then he says a bunch of other stuff, but I'm going to break it down this way. If you live in an affluent area, one church or religious organization, 25 miles away, 30, maybe 40. The poorer you get, the more religious centers you got. That's why I asked who's lived in an affluent area, because I didn't want to just come out here and answer Chris's question, and I don't have some folk who can back this up.
That makes a hell of a lot of sense, my bad.
Where the drugs at? Where there's 9, 10 churches at? You ain't got to agree with me. We talking what is. And there's a reason. Because where there is confusion, there is poverty. You understand? So wherever there's really no organization, can we wear pants? I don't know. No. Can women do it? Yes. Can women do it? No. And every time, are we? This is your answer, Chris. We black. Are we Muslim? Are we Hebrew? Are we Christian? Are we Protestant? Are we Catholic? All same thing in those last three, right? Are we this and this? You divide it amongst the most important area of your life, which is spirituality. So you have no choice but to be in poverty, and it's kept that way. So that's the answer to your question, Chris. So of course it is, right? Of course that's why you feel that way when you go there.
Yeah, you just answered what I was about to say, and that's
why I told you I hate that you asked me that, because I would typically answer it with the roof for black people. I'm telling you though, real talk. We're done. We're done. Wherever there is confusion, there is automatically poverty. Now ask yourself. Now this question is just a philosophical question that I came up with, that has no truth to it. It's one of those questions that's supposed to make you think. Like when I ask you, can God make a rock that's too big for God to pick up? It's not meant to be answered. It's just meant to make you think philosophically about what you believe. I'm about to ask you the same type of question. What causes prostitution? The cheap hotels, or the fact that there is a religious book in every last one of them? Don't answer the question. It's not meant to be answered.
I don't want to answer. Can I add something?
Yes, sir.
I'll give you 30 seconds. To me, prostitution is a need for, product and demand. And it's how you look at it from the receiver. Have you ever bought the DuPont registry, Rob Report?
No, I sure haven't.
Well, when you get a chance, go pick one up.
Okay,
And
I sure will.
And through this, because I live in some high class neighborhoods where there's a lot of people that have what's called mail order brides, and there's a lot of indentured servants, which is basically legal slavery, from people from other countries who come in who work, and they get paid maybe $2,000 a week to clean the house, do whatever the case is, but they're slaves. They're basically debt slaves. They don't have their papers or whatever the case is. But if you look through the DuPont registry, you'll see model quality introduction. You'll see all of these high-end model dating services, which is legal slavery. And when I was younger, I ran a modeling business and / escort service with no questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same as that. But then I seen people in my community get lots of years and do things, because my father was in that era, for prostitution. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
It is a double-edged sword.
It.
It most certainly is a double-edged sword. And that'll go towards, what's the difference between Hugh Hefner and R. Kelly?
Nothing. Or what's the difference if you go out on a date with your wife and she says, "Oh, well, you got to buy me dinner first before we go to bed"? Is it the same? Oh, no.
That's the same. That's completely the same. There's no difference. Now, it's just a philosophical question that was meant to bring up a comment like that. You don't got to answer it. I don't care if you answer it. The point is, Steve, if I put right now 10 religious organizations in your neighborhood and splash them across a 5-block radius, eventually you will have a lot of confusion and poverty will come in super quickly. That's got nothing to do with me. I didn't make that up, Jerry. Right? I didn't make that up. It's got nothing to do with me. You understand what I'm saying? That's how this thing works, because the Matrix has us all. Now, I know you don't like that. Go ahead, Carol.
So it's like, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. Wherever you got, listen, y'all. I get along with Justin. If you super Christian, I can get along with you. If you super Justin, super Islam, I can get along with you. Don't matter to me, because I'm what Christians would call kingdom-minded. I'm not sure what you would call that in the Islamic faith, right? And none of that bothers me. I'm here to win. I'm not here to have a belief that keeps me in poverty. And I damn sure ain't here to be controlled by somebody else's winnings. You can believe that. You can believe that for sure. I'm not, man, Justin's a millionaire. He wouldn't follow me. Didn't you vet me first, Justin?
Yeah, I did watch like all of your YouTube channels first before because you are some that I was always taught in business that if you take a common denominator of 5 people that you follow or have infinite contact with on an everyday basis, something about them is gonna rub off on you. And if you don't find at least 3 good qualities within them to follow, then they can still be in your life, but they can't be in your inner circle, because that mind frame energy is gonna rub off on you. So you got to do your due diligence on the people that you follow, and you gave me a lot of good content before I actually even took the course.
Thank you, brother.
But on a personal level, I judge people on their personality, not their religion, not if they're gay, straight, but whatever the case is. I love unconditionally and respect people by their person. So you as a person, I like, and then all the extra stuff after that is just icing on the cake or whatever the case is.
No doubt. Justin's the only person I ever told. Oh yeah, they clapping for you, Justin. Go ahead, Reese.
I second that. I don't want to repeat him. I'm sure we can all sing the praises of Antonio all day.
I appreciate you. Justin's the only person I ever told that, hey man, anytime you want me to come back to your podcast, got it. I ain't never told nobody that. Like I'm there. So all you gotta do is give it Deanna. I'm there every time. I'd be 100 billionaire. It's gonna be the same thing, because you don't take back your word. right? Not when you a solid person of solid character, right? You don't take back your word. It's what it is. That's why I watch what I say. Last thing, y'all, you need to get money focused. This meeting was about money. And every time a meeting is about money, somebody's poverty condition rises to the surface. It ain't your fault. They taught us that poverty is holy. And I'm here to crush that. It is not holy. It is not holy. You could do a lot more for your grandkids with money. You understand? I didn't say this is all about money. And I don't even want to hear that opposition because ain't nobody said that. What I'm saying is it is about to get worse. You let them propaganda you all you want to. It's about to be, I'm not going to create it. They going to do it. It's about to be us versus them real soon. I ain't versus nothing, but they sure enough going to do that towards us. I can guarantee you that. And all we need to do is be shielded by money. With the right people. So no matter what happens, we can continue to move forward. And until they call me into Congress and start asking me questions about how I'm helping all these folk and the policy procedures, I ain't doing no job. You understand? And Tony Hook T. Smith Jr., you can play better. You can dominate. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you later. Appreciate you, Justin. Appreciate you, Steve, everybody. Thank you.
Meyer brand grills up the value you expect with quality you can taste in every bite. Try our new quarter-pound beef franks, cradled in our own hot dog buns and topped with tangy, no sugar-added ketchup or easy-squeeze whipped salad dressing. Top your burger with our convenient burger-shaped Colby cheese slices. And don't forget the sides, like party-sized ripple potato chips, perfect for scooping, and our own special recipe cool and creamy macaroni salad. Stop into Meyer and discover big taste and bigger savings on Meyer brand.